What's up guys, Nathan here, and today I want to give you the top 5 most underrated poker hands that you probably need to play more. Let's jump right into it. Alright guys, so having played this game professionally for over 10 years and having coached hundreds of students in small and mid-stakes games, I can tell you that there are 5 hands that I think people should be playing a lot more. These are the hands that I have won some of the most money with. Counting down from 5 to 1, let's jump into it. These are the top 5 hands. You need to stop folding, start playing these more. Number 5 is going to be 8-7 suited, one of my all-time favorite suited connectors. 7-8 of hearts, 8-7 of spades, and it doesn't matter what suit it is, this is an absolutely brilliant hand because it can make multiple straights, flushes, hidden trips, 2 pairs, all sorts of awesome stuff like that. When the board comes 7-7 king, no one's going to put you on that 7. Let's give you an example here of a really good flop. Would be king of spades if you have 7-8 of hearts, would be king of spades, 9 of hearts, and 6 of diamonds. On this board you have an open-ended straight draw, meaning that you have 4 outs, and when I say outs, by the way, in this video I'm talking about cards remaining in the deck that will give you the best hand. So you have 4 outs to the 10, that would give you the nut straight. You also have 4 outs to the 5, which would also give you the nut straight. Hopefully you guys have also noticed that we have a backdoor flush draw on this board, which you typically add another out or 2 for, meaning that if on the turn and river it came heart-heart, we would make a flush. So guys, this is a brilliant situation, great spot. If somebody's got a hand like King Jack, for example, we can often win a big pot if we're able to hit our draw. So how should you play this hand? Well, typically you want to raise pre-flop if you're the first one in. This is something that I always recommend no matter what hand you play, and you want to call a raise in position with this hand. Now this is a very, very important point, guys. Some of the hands on this list, just like this one, really require position. What do I mean by that? I'm talking about specifically the 2 most profitable spots at the poker table, which I'll put on your screen right now, which are the button and the cutoff. Why are they so profitable? Because you get to act last on the flop, turn, and river. Massive proven statistical advantage in poker, something you want to take advantage of, especially with a hand like this. You also want to float a lot of flops. Now, when I talk about floating, I'm not going to get into depth in this video, but floating is basically when somebody bets on the flop, you call on the flop with the intention of taking it away later on the turn and river. This is something that I talk about in detail in my brand new Elite Poker Training University, 17 plus hours of advanced training. You can enroll right now in the description below. I have multiple videos about how to float the flop with a hand like this and take it away in position. But let's move on to number 4 poker hand that you need to start playing more often, and that is pocket 4s. Guys, a hand like pocket 4s is literally your bread and butter to start crushing small stakes poker games in particular. Probably 90-95% of you guys watching this video probably play small stakes. It's what most people play. And the biggest reason why these baby pocket pairs, pocket 3s, pocket 4s, pocket 5s, pocket 6s do so well in these games is because most players in these games, they can't fold a hand like top pair. All right, let me give you an example of a good flop. Flop comes down with an ace of clubs, 4 of spades, and 8 of diamonds. This is an awesome spot, guys, because if somebody has a hand like ace 10, ace jack, ace queen, ace king, they're not going to be able to fold. A lot of players in small stakes games just can't get away from that hand, and we literally have an unbeatable hand versus them with our set. And it's really important that you guys understand the difference between a set and trips. They are not the same thing. A set is far superior to trips. Trips would be an example like we talked about with the 8-7 hand where if the flop came 7-7 king. That's trips. The problem is with that hand is everyone can see the 7-7 on the board, guys, and they know what you're representing. But on a board like this, ace 4 8s, and you start betting and raising them, they're like, what does this guy possibly have? And the reason why is because a set is hidden. You have 2 parts of the 3 of a kind are in your own hand. They can't see that. So that's why sets are so powerful. You can also fill up to a full house if it comes with another ace. Could give the other player trips and you make a full house, which of course beats trips. So how do you play this hand, guys? You raise pre-flop like with all hands on this list, or call a raise. Now this hand does not require the power of position like we just talked about with 8-7 suited. And the reason why, guys, is because your main goal really with a hand like pocket 4s is just to hit a set on the flop. I'm gonna say that most of the time if you do not hit your set on the flop, like if it comes with a king queen queen 9 or something like that, you really should just be folding to any kind of betting or raising in those situations, because there's only 2 more 4s remaining in the deck. It's not a good spot for you. So let's move on to hand number 3 that you need to start playing more often, and that's a hand like ace 7 suited. Guys, I love a hand like ace 7 of diamonds, because this hand can really win a lot of big pots, especially versus bad players, recreational players in small and mid stakes games. Biggest reason why, guys, is because you can make both the nut flush and also a really good 2-pair with this hand as well. An excellent example of a good flop would be a flop like 6 of diamonds, 5 of spades, and 9 of diamonds. Guys, this flop is literally money for our hand here. We have the nut flush draw in this situation. We also have a gut shot straight draw. If it came an 8 on the turn or river, would make a straight. And we also, of course, have the overcard with the ace. If somebody's got a hand like king 9, for example, we can beat that hand if it comes with one of our 3 remaining aces in the deck. So guys, this is an awesome spot. This is typically a spot where you want to be playing this hand pretty strong post flop. So how do we play this hand overall? Well, raise pre-flop as always, of course. By the way, if you want to know every single hand that I recommend playing from every position at the poker table, I'd recommend just downloading a copy of my free poker cheat sheet. That'll be the top link in the description below. I actually have charts in there showing you what hands to play in a 6-player poker game, 9-player poker game, tournaments, Zoom, and so on. But bottom line, guys, this is definitely a hand that's on all those charts that you should be playing, should be raising pre-flop or calling a raise in position. Now, I hope you guys remember from before, that means cutoff and button primarily. This is a hand that definitely needs position. Now, the other thing you want to know about this hand is do not go nuts, guys, if you just hit top pair. If you got ace 7, the flop comes ace 10, 4. Don't play a massive pot, guys, because often the other player is going to have a hand like ace king, ace queen, ace jack, ace 10, and you're in really bad shape. So be careful if you just have top pair. It's not primarily why we play this hand. You really want to try to flop big, like in this example here with the 6, 5, 9, 2 diamonds. Let's move on to hand number 2 that you need to start playing a lot more often, and that is pocket 8s. Guys, one of my all-time favorite pocket pairs. This hand is money in small stakes games, and that is because once again, most players in these games simply cannot fold a hand like top pair. Example of a great flop for this hand would be the king of diamonds, 8 of clubs, and 3 of hearts. We have smashed this flop with middle set. And if somebody has a hand like ace king, king queen, king jack, they're probably not going to be looking to get away from it. You're probably going to win a big pot versus those hands. So let's talk about how to play this hand. Number 1, raise pre-flop, of course, or call a raise. Now, you'll notice with the pocket pairs on this list, they do not require the power position. Pocket 8s, you can play from any seat at the poker table. And it is also important to remember that pocket 8s, unlike pocket 4s, is good enough to continue on several flops where you miss your set. Now, it depends what the flop is. If it comes with an ace, king, queen, and somebody makes a big bet, you probably want to fold your pocket 8s. But if the flop comes with, say, a 10, 5, deuce, it's a pretty good spot for pocket 8s to call a bet. You don't want to be raising or anything like that, but you want to be floating, like we talked about before, calling on the flop with the intention to take it away later on in the hand. I actually have several videos on the channel, by the way, talking about how to do that. Make sure you're subscribed so you never miss my brand new poker strategy videos. All right, guys, so my number 1 most profitable hand that you probably need to start playing more often, and that is queen jack suited. Guys, this hand is literally ideal for small stakes games for the one simple reason that it can make the Broadway straight. The Broadway straight, for those of you guys who don't know, is 10 jack queen, king, ace, the best straight in the game. And the beautiful thing about this straight is that most players in small stakes games get what I call married to ace X or king X hand. It just means they have top pair with the ace or top pair with the king. And what does a Broadway have? It has both an ace and the king on the board. And if you make the straight with a hand like queen jack, you're often going to be able to win a big pot against them. Example good flop would be king of clubs, 10 of hearts, and 5 of spades. This is a good spot for us to call on the flop, or sometimes even make a semi-bluff raise. We have the open-ended straight draw. If it comes with an ace, it's 4 aces remaining in the deck. We're going to make the nut Broadway straight, or if it comes with a 9, we're also going to make the nut straight. And hopefully you guys also notice we have the backdoor heart draw here. always a good thing to have in our back pocket. If it comes heart, heart on the turn and river, we will also make a nearly unbeatable hand with a strong flush. So guys, how do you play this hand? Raise pre-flop, of course, or call a raise in position. You'll notice that with a lot of these sort of suited connectors or Broadway suited connectors like this hand here, you often want to play these hands in position, once again, button and cutoff specifically. You want to be careful with this hand if you just hit top pair. A lot of times, if the flop comes with like a queen, 9, 8 or something like that, you want to be careful. Play the hand cautiously. Remember, there's a lot of other hands like, you know, ace queen or king queen that could potentially have you out kicked. Basically, guys, you want to look to flop big with this hand, but this is a really, really strong hand in small stakes games that can often win you a lot of money. Guys, let me know in the comments below what are your favorite hands to play, and also like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. All the best at the poker tables, unless you're on my poker table. I will catch you next time. This has been Nathan Williams with BlackRoon79.com.